The map function contains a closure that can be expressed in short or long form. In the example below, we're calling map on array to add 1 to each number in the array. First, in line 2, please create an empty array called result and then initialize it as an array of type int. So let's do that first. What we need to do is we say var result, because we want an array that's called result, and we say this is an array that contains integers, and we initialize it with no values. And below you can see many different examples of calling the map function. Each example does exactly the same thing. The only difference is the syntax. We start with the long form up here, and we then work our way down to the shortest version. So let's start at the top. What this really says is, on our initial array, we're calling the map function with the dot notation. And when we call a function, we have the parentheses brackets. Inside it, we have a closure. You know it's a closure because you see these curly brackets. And we're passing in a parameter called x, that's an integer. And then we're returning an integer. And what we're returning is x plus 1. So each time we're passing in, x is the value, the initial value in the array 1, and then we add 1. X plus 1 is 2, so when we print the result, the first item should change to 2, 2 should change to 3, etc. because all we're doing is adding 1 to the initial value. You can see that we can simplify the above. We do not need to say that we're returning an integer. This Swift can automatically infer. We also don't have to write return, so you can just write x in x plus 1. Once again, even for the parameter that we're passing in, you don't have to specify the type. Swift can just infer it, and then you can drop these brackets. You can also see that if you want to say in return, you can. So there's multiple options for the syntax. Lastly, you can then jump and replace all of this language. You can replace x with $0. And when you do that, you don't even need to write the parameter that you're passing in the return. Instead, you can just write the closure with what you want. $0 gives you access to the initial value in the array, and we're saying just add 1 to it. And it then does that for each value, and when you print the result, you can see that you get an array with 4 numbers in each. To each number we just added 1. Also note that we can drop the regular parentheses. This is what you can do when the closure is the last argument of a function, and so you end up with something that is really short and easy to read.